Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. And today I have my friend, my brother, crazy person.
You're not wrong.
Chris Paollo13. You know what? So years ago we had like the battle thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yes.
So like, I mean, you're rude when you're battling.
Yeah.
It's like you're like, okay, so you're kind of listening, and you're finding like, okay, where's the weak spot? Oh, I see that. And that's what you go for. I get it, you want to win, but like, do you always have to be that brutal?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? Like, if you and I are going into a boxing match, right? And you hit me hard, what am I gonna get mad? We're in there to compete, right?
Right.
So like, I know that the other person's gonna hit me as hard as they can, so I'm gonna hit them harder. You know what I mean? Like, and that goes both ways. Like, you can say things to me in the realm of a battle that you couldn't say to me outside
of it.
Right?
And I think that's what, so there was this event and I think that's what was missing. And like, why do you think some people take it so personal? Like, we're just, dissing each other here in this circle and that's what it is. Like, why do you think some people like, let's take it outside and stuff?
Ego. Ego, like, as far as I'm concerned, if I make you want to fight me, I win.
Right.
Right? Like, if I got you so mad that you were trying to jump me, then I got in your feelings, bro. I hurt you. Right?
Right.
So that's why, and it sucks losing. It sucks losing. In anything. But especially in like a battle of the wits, like, I'm trying to clown you, you're trying to clown me. It's just, it's easy to be made feel stupid, like be made to feel stupid in a rap battle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know, for real.
And everybody's there like, oh shit!
I think it's a reaction from the crowd that actually gets to the other person. Anyway, so what?
Sorry.
Yeah.
That specific night you're talking about, like one of the guys I was battling, it was a tournament. And one of the guys like choked and didn't know what to say, and he mentioned something he's like, my grandmother died today, and I'm still here battling you. And I'm like, you shouldn't have told me that. Like, you shouldn't have told me that. And I just did like a whole round about his grandmother. Yeah, it's ignorant as shit.
So talking about that, right? Like, something I haven't actually asked you personally, and I've kind of just picked up anecdote or seen you talk about on your podcast and stuff. It's like your rap in journey, because like, how did you get into rapping, not just listening to it?
Yeah, well, I started becoming like a real rap fan when I was like 12 or 13. Like, that's when I was like, this is the shit. Like, this is what I love. And I probably wrote my first rap song around the same time. I was like 13, and it was it was trying to win the affection of a girl.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like it was some corny kid shit, you know what I mean? And I was like, she liked Lil Wayne. So I was like, fucking, I'm gonna try and be Lil Wayne. Still never worked.
Oh my God.
Apollo F baby. No. But yeah, it never worked. But that's kind of what was my introduction to it. And then as I started writing, I was like, I'm okay at this. Like, I could be good at this. I wasn't good, but I was like, I'm having fun. You know what I mean? This is something I could try out. You know what I mean? And then I started writing songs and performing, like, at school events, usually. Coffee houses and pep rallies and all that sort of bullshit. And that's how I got out there. In those days, I still wasn't great, but I had a lot of energy and charisma.
Still do.
So, thank you. So people were kind of drawn to it. And I remember I had this one teacher in like the 11th grade. Mr. McDonald, shout out Mr. McDonald. He liked hip hop. He was like one of the football coaches. And he gave me a stack of like 30 CDs.
Holy shit.
Like Nozzle-matic, like Ghostface Killer Iron Man, like Tribe Called Quest, Gift of Gab, like
Wow.
all sorts of shit. And he gave me a turntable.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I was like, this is cool. It's like somebody believes in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I just kept doing it, and I started getting involved with iMove with Sobaz. And we did the Youth Now radio program on CKDU. Shout out to Sobaz. Shout out to all the Youth Now alumni. Shout out to my brother Glenn. And then, you know, I was on the radio. It was campus radio, but I was on the radio. I was still a kid. I was like 14, rapping. I remember the first time I walked in that studio, everybody was like, who the fuck is this kid? Like, get this kid the fuck out of here. Like, why are you here? And then I started rapping, and people were like,
Okay.
okay. Okay, yeah, all right. You can stay. And then I did that for a bit, and shit, just been running it since.
Wow. Wow. And you know, like when you're writing or I guess, you know, working on your music, do you have any process at all?
Kind of. So one thing I found was when I was younger, I had more of a hunger, you know what I mean? And
Rhyming and stuff.
yeah, it was easier for me to get inspired or to create inspiration. As I got older, start dealing with more business side of things. Excuse me. It sucked a lot of the soul out of it for me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I just didn't feel as inspired to write because I was busy trying to get the other stuff off the ground. And then now I'm at a point where I'm like, it's a job, right? It doesn't matter if you're inspired. You sit down, you start writing. Sometimes it'll hit, sometimes it won't. But the more you write, the more something's gonna hit. You know what I mean? As part of my process, I had to smoke some weed.
I had a feeling that was gonna be there somewhere.
Yeah, you know, I like to smoke a bit of weed and maybe drink a beer and just like kind of have that relaxed environment, low lights, you know what I mean? Usually I'll find a beat and then I'll start writing to the beat. But lately I've actually been writing without the beat and then finding a beat that I'm like, okay, that'll work.
Right.
And that itself totally changes the process.
Right.
Because when you're writing to the beat, you're limited to the beat structure, right? And when you're not writing to the beat has to suit the structure with which you wrote. If that makes any sense.
No, totally does. Cause like, you know, the beat is pretty much like a freaking box, and you'll just have to stay within that parameter. Versus, okay, this is what it is. Let's figure out how to make it. And you know, so you got this pile of CDs. Do you find that any of those artists influence how you write? And are there any artists now, like, you know, in the late couple of years or whatever, that you find stand out to you or inspire you in any way when it comes to your writing?
For sure. Like that stack of CDs heavily influenced my taste because it was like, I got it like when I first got my driver's license.
Oh, so you pretty much
like
listening
I
to
was
it.
just whipping around in my car, like pretty much always Illmatic. Again, Iron Man by Ghostface. Like when I heard Iron Man by Ghostface, and like I was like, holy shit, the storytelling on this is crazy. Is like, you know. Peace Kiana, what's up with your girlfriend Wanda? She drives a green Honda with legs like Jane Fonda. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, yeah, this is the shit. I love this. And, man, and you know, it's funny. Some things I kind of grew out of taste. Like, I used to like Straight Outta Compton a lot by NWA. I still fucks with some of it, but like, it doesn't have the same impact on me as it did when I was younger, you know what I mean? I was like which I thought was the craziest shit when I was younger. I was like, what? Like, how can these guys say this? You know how? Like, and because at the time it wasn't revolutionary music, but it was revolutionary music. You know what I mean? And I was, like, fuck the police. I was like,
But anyway, talking of that, what did you think? Did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a movie. You know what I mean? Like, you got to make that shit exciting. You got to tell the story a little different sometimes, But in terms of like showing their come up and their camaraderie, like, it was super cool. I thought the actors did a great job of portraying like the characters' likeness, especially
Ice Cube's son.
Ice Cube's. I mean, he looks just like his dad.
Right.
Like, it looks like you're watching Young Cube.
Right.
No doubt. And I thought it was good. I am not a huge fan of rap biopics, though.
Yeah.
I like the Biggie one, Notorious.
Oh, that one was. Oh yeah.
That was also like when I was younger too. Like, I remember seeing that and being like, "Yo, this is cool." I was like, "He's Christopher too." It's destiny. Like, all the great fat rappers are named Christopher. Chris Rios, Chris Wallace. Like, boom, I'm in. So.
Anyway, and any artists now that you fuck with?
Oh yeah, for sure. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Always love Nipsey Hussle. I love, Griselda, all of Griselda. Like, they're crazy. I think Benny says some of the realest shit ever. West Side Gun is so fun to listen to. Megs doesn't necessarily agree. She hates the ad libs, and she hates that I'm always running around the house going brrrr. She's like, shut the fuck up. Mac Hami, Rome Streets, Ransom, Earl Sweatshirt. Obviously the Kendricks and the Coles. Although I haven't listened to Kendrick Lamar's.
You've not listened to the new album? It's actually really good. So here's the thing, though.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, like, my thing with Kendrick, right, is everybody dick rides the shit out of him.
No, I don't think so, though.
No, they do. And he is great. He is great, right? But what I'm saying is, like, when he drops a project, I give it a couple months till the hype dies down, so I can actually listen to it.
Fair enough.
See, like, okay, what's good and what's people just being like, oh my God.
Right. So my I've not actually listened to any of his album back to, like, I've listened to some. I'll be like, I like this song, but this new album
front to back
is very, very, very good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, the songs, the storytelling, the lyrics, the beat. One of my favorite songs is like this, like, super dysfunctional relationship.
Okay.
Like, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And the thing is, like, if you've ever been in such a relationship, it's like, why are you, like, exposing me like this?
People gotta understand context.
Yes.
In art.
Yes.
Right? Like, I'm not saying certain things to be demeaning. I'm saying certain things to illustrate what the world is actually like to certain people. Right? Like,
yes.
Like, if I'm writing a racist, like, say I'm writing a movie, right? And I'm writing a character that is a
super
racist.
It's like, it doesn't.
Right? Like, I'm not gonna have them being like,
Yeah.
I think
beating around the bushes, it's the story.
So, like, one of the songs on his album, he's talking about, like, his trans uncle. I like the last line on that song, like, hits you at the back of the head. But I'm like, I apparently there's a controversy about this song, but I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get why there's a controversy. Anyway, so point is, Kendrick Lamar is good.
He's great. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like the album with the most replay value by Kendrick was probably the first two, Section 80 and...
There's a song, sorry, but there's a song on that.
It was a costume.
There's a song on that project called High Power or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That song is fucking good.
Yeah.
That song is so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. Man, that whole album's got...
Oh, fuck. Like, whoever did that beat of that High Power is like a crazy, crazy, crazy sick producer. I remember hearing that. Like, I didn't even know who Kendrick Lamar was, but I remember hearing that song. And there's another one that is like rigor mortis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, breathe. Breathe, motherfucker, breathe.
I
like-
outro too. It was crazy about that.
So I mean, you have all these inspirations
Oh,
and like,
speaking of, hold on, sorry. Ab Soul just dropped a new album, too. And it's good. It's called Herbert, which I think is his government name.
oh, okay.
I slipped my mind. We were talking about artists I fuck with.
So now, like, but there's this thing, and I guess it's kind of dying, but there's this whole, you know, like the hip hop now is kind of like trash, and it's not. What do you think of that?
I don't think hip hop now is trash. I think the way we consume hip hop now is trash. And I think that rap fans are trash. That's how I feel about it. Like, I don't know, man. There is a lot of, I mean, there was always, bro, if you go back and like you listen to the artists from back in the day that were not like the artists, you're gonna hear a lot of fucking bullshit. No matter what genre, like there's always gonna be shitty artists. But now I think one of the big problems we have is the media perpetuating the negative artistry, right? And now more than ever, I mean, hip hop and street culture have always been intertwined a great deal. But now it's just like, you have so many big artists getting killed or like catching RICO cases, like Young Thug catching a RICO case.
You know, it's funny you said that because I was going to ask you that about what's your thoughts on people going to jail because of what they said in a song, though. You know, like I don't understand that. Like how it's. I think it's crazy that you can go to jail for rapping about stuff, whether it's true or not.
People don't veil it. They'll say like, my little cousin so-and-so shot, blah, 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 fuck the ops. And I'm like, you're saying people's names, dog.
But like,
right? Like, if they already have a mountain of evidence supporting that, and then they're like, oh, and plus this.
But
know what
like,
I mean?
it is a song, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of like you're writing a film, right? Isn't it almost the same thing?
Yeah, but you know what? Even in writing a film, a lot of times people's proclivities come out.
I don't know what you're saying about, what's his name, Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, like Tarantino's foot fetish. You know what? Why is there always close-ups of feet, motherfucker? Yeah, it's a movie. But why are you always trying to do close-ups of feet? You know what I'm saying? So like I think there has to be a differentiation between artistry and real life. But also, if you're living that life, don't be fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking idiot, man. Like, why are you talking about that shit?
I was watching a YouTube video and this guy was talking about artists that have kind of like, you know, said what they did and for some reason, most of them go and kind of talk about, you know, DJ Vlad or something. Like they talk about it on DJ Vlad and then that's kind of how
they get
end up.
arrested. That's because DJ Vlad is the police. Like, bro, don't talk about shit until the statute of limitations runs out. Come on. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's come
But
back
also in saying that,
Yeah.
you have to tell an honest story, but just be smart about how you do it, right? It's called metaphors.
So let's come back to the city though. like, you started your rap journey years ago, and you're still doing now. What are things you've noticed, like changes, positive or negative?
Like just in the game in general?
Yeah, in general.
All right. So, one thing I think is a blessing and a curse is the internet and social media. We don't have to rely on labels the way we used to as artists to get our name out there, promote ourselves, find ways to make money. I think the downside of that is there's too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? There's a lot of whack-ass artists out there. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, some of them are doing fantastic, so obviously somebody fucks with it. But I just think too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Everybody and their mother's a rapper now. You know what I mean? I don't know. Rap is for everybody. But on the same time, see, I'm contradicting myself back and forth here because I have so many mixed emotions about this. On the other side, hip-hop is for everybody and it brings people together. But again, I think that the labels or the media are perpetuating kind of a lot of the worst parts of hip-hop. And like, I just don't like fucking people acting hard all the time because they listen to rap. They think they got ops, and it's like, no, your fucking op is the lunch lady at the cafeteria. She didn't serve pizza today. Like, man, sit the fuck down. I think what's good is we're exposed to so much. But I think a lot of the fun of just like going out to the record store and like looking for a record and then seeing a record with a cool cover that you never heard of the band before and be like, what the fuck's that? And then just copping it because it's like $7 and then going home and finding like the coolest shit ever. You know what I mean? I mean, I was just scrolling and then Spotify tells you what you gotta like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I remember one of my favorite albums I ever got was No More Glory by MJG from Memphis. One half of 8 Ball and MJG.
Yeah.
And like I got it. It was like I hadn't listened to them before, and the album cover was him like kneeling in front of the burning Confederate flag, and I was like, cool, check it out. And that shit's a heater from start to finish. Like,
Wow.
Especially if you like Southern rap, like it's jammy.
Talking about record, your last project wasn't a record. How do you feel about that? Or how do you feel about that project itself?
Yeah, so my last album, Stunted Growth, came out early 2022. This year, today's the last day of 2022. Came out at the start of the year on vinyl through Black Buffalo Records. I love the project, you know what I mean? I'm very proud of the project. I think the project was exactly what I wanted it to be. It's kind of a concept album. Unofficially, it doesn't have like a traditional narrative, but it goes from me being kind of like a shithead kid, you know what I mean? Like not giving a fuck, getting drunk and chasing women. And then as it progresses, it becomes more serious. Talks about some of the hardships you endure living a certain lifestyle, the sacrifices you make on your own life and your own soul. And then the third quarter or the third period of the album goes into the healing process and trying to get better. And then, so the first song's called Stunted Growth. That's the title track. And then the last song is called 5-Year Plan.
I fucking love that song.
Yeah, featuring Tachichi. Shout out to Tachichi. It's my OG brother. The album's full of good features, man. We got Marv Won out of Detroit, Ghettosocks, Frantic, King Woo's Aquakultre, ambition, and it's got tons of great production. You know, we got 75 crates, DJ Uncle Fester. Maya Kiltron's featured too. My bad. AR. Anyways, Glenn. Tons of dope shit. The only thing is, I thought by the time I got my album on vinyl, I'd be rich.
That's so funny.
Nope. Not the case. But I am very proud of that album. I think it got some love. I think it's the kind of album people aren't going to appreciate for a few years. But, you know, it's been getting some love around the world. Shout out Mexico. Mexico's been fucking with it. Germany has been fucking with it pretty heavy. A lot of Europe, a lot of Canada and the US, so shout out to that. You know what pissed me off, bro? Russia loved my fucking music. Russia loved my fucking music, man. And they cut off Spotify in Russia because they invaded the Ukraine. I'm like, my streams, my listeners. I was like, get the fuck out of the Ukraine. My streams plummeted when Russia got they nixed Spotify to Russia, man. Fuck.
No, but like, yeah, I really love that project. And, you know, you're going on this kind of roller coaster, and we're just walking into the studio. I was like, hey, congrats, like, you know, your relationship, like, you know, when two artists, because it's kind of like the stereotype. And, you know, people see stereotype as a bad thing, but I don't, because I think if something becomes a stereotype, it means it's happened so much that it's kind of the truth, right? So, you know, when like artists start dating, like, oh, fuck, okay, you know, whatever, it's, you know, yeah. But you guys like stuck it out and you're like, hey, you shared the news. I'm like, okay, we got to do this here. So like, you want to share this news? Because like, I'm mind blown.
Yeah, so for reference, me and another artist, Megs, are together. We've been together for 3 years, give or take. We stuck it out.
Right.
And now we're expecting a child in February, in just a couple months, actually. So
Holy shit, congrats, man.
thanks, brother. That's a huge game changer, man. It's a huge game changer. Like, the baby isn't even born yet, but everything has changed. Like, the way I got to do everything, like even music, like if I'm going to continue to do music, it's got to make sense. Because like the number one priority is baby's got to eat. You know what I mean? It's like, so book me for motherfucking shows. All right? Do all that shit. Buy my album. Help me feed my baby.
Yeah.
Help me keep making music. And if you make good music and shit too, let me know. I'll help you out. That's the way it's gotta go. Wow. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, before I came up here to shoot this today, I'm like in my robe, drinking tea, putting together the baby's crib, like, it's Saturday and I was up before noon, so it's like, so you know, things done changed. Like, I went to bed at 11.
Like, I gotta ask though, when you like, do you remember the first time you heard the news, and how was it for you?
I thought, oh fuck. If I'm gonna be honest, I said, like, I was excited. I can't lie. I was excited because, to be honest, I always wanted kids. I always felt like, even though I was a knucklehead when I was younger, it kind of gives me more lived experience to actually teach a kid what to do and what not to do. Yeah. Like, I could actually, dad can tell you because dad did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the biggest reason I was so concerned was just like, you know, when we found out, it was like around the same time the world is still crumbling. You know, you got wars going on. We're still dealing with COVID, inflation. You know what I mean? illnesses are like at an all-time high, like in the post-COVID world, both mental and physical illnesses. There's a lot of side effects. It just seemed like a really scary world to bring somebody into. You know what I mean? But when has the world ever not been scary? You know what I mean? And what I said to Megs, was, everything might be all fucked up, but no matter what happens, we'll deal with it as a family. That's that. And that's the way it's got to be, right? Shit's gonna go sideways. You keep your people close, and whatever the fuck happens, we'll deal with it as a family. Daddy got a shotgun, so it's like, whatever pops off, like, we'll deal with it, you know what I mean? Like, we'll deal with it. So that's kind of what reassured me, because, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. You never know. Like, people must have felt the same way having children when the Industrial Revolution was happening. So whatever it is, it is.
Or the World War or whatever.
The World War, yes. You know what I mean?
Man, congrats. Thanks for sharing that news. I'm like, holy shit. But at the same time, it's gotta be frightening.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Because it's like, a lot of the things I do in my day-to-day life, I've been doing them since I was a teenager. You know what I mean? I'm familiar, right? This is a first.
Right.
So anything you do for the first time is scary. Like, you remember your first time getting laid? Oh, fuck. You know what
Oh my God. Oh, Paolo, shit.
But yeah, so like, it's a first. But man, I kind of look forward to like bringing a lot of that childhood wonder back into my life. You know what I mean? Of just being like, yo, let's go exploring. Like, let's go see what we can find today. You know what I mean? Or like, on Christmases and stuff, right? It's like, because you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy getting socks and underwear for real.
Right.
Right? Some good food, some good clean food, some nice fresh drawers. Boom. And so now it's like, cool, what am I gonna get my kid? You know what I mean? What's gonna put that smile on their face? And yeah, I just think we have a lot to teach her, you know what I mean? We're having a girl, by the way. And she's already been on stage.
Oh yeah, it's true. Cause
She ain't even been born yet, and like, she's already performed on stage, well, with her mom, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's kind of cool. Like, that's a cool story. Like,
And I did it 6 months pregnant.
yeah,
bitches.
yeah. Like, Megs won the Hopscotch Each One Teach One competition. Like 6 months pregnant. So it's like, baby girl, you're already a champion. You know what I mean?
So are you gonna, I guess, work on new projects, or are you gonna just let Stunted Growth do its thing for a couple of?
I think I need to do more with Stunted Growth. Not to talk too much about it. I think it was put out in a bit of a hurry. I think there's a lot of good content that it could still be created around it. Some good visuals and stuff. So I'm going to be working on that. I am going to be dropping an EP early this year, because I already have all the songs done.
Oh wow.
So
how many songs is gonna be on it?
Probably 4.
What is it gonna be called?
I don't know yet.
Is that the title? I don't know.
Actually, it might be. That's a good album name. I don't know yet.
So, I mean, fatherhood is on the horizon. You have the EP coming out. Putting in all this work, how do you, find balance in your life?
I don't.
Right.
I don't. I don't ever find true equilibrium. I think very few of us ever do. For me, it's just the scale's constantly tipping. You know what I mean? Like, I'm poor with time management too, I can't lie. I am, but for now, honestly, like most of it, Like, music is down here right now, and just getting everything ready for the baby is up here.
I mean,
right?
you're building a crib and
Building
stuff.
the crib, building the change table. I just painted the room.
Holy shit.
Like, because I don't care. Like, I care about myself enough to take care of her. Outside of that, I'm not worried about me, really, and what I want. Which was also hard, right? Because, like, the way I always felt was, because I actually never intended on having children. I always thought, like, the younger artists I put on,
Yeah, kids.
yeah, like, not to say it like that, especially if any of y'all are listening, like, not in a weird way, but it's like, they're the people I'm looking out for, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, they're the people I'm looking out for, trying to, you know, give them opportunities or trying to find ways to help us all succeed. And now it's like, y'all go fuck yourselves. I got a baby, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, fresh baby, couple months, man, like, that's
It's just around the corner.
yeah, and like, you know, we got plans, like we already sent the deposit to bring an artist down from Detroit. You know what I mean? That's still gonna happen, but that's gotta get pushed back a bit, you know what I mean? Because it's like, we sent the first deposit, boom, can't say the amount, you know, business, right? So like half, and then we gotta pay the second half. Airfare, hotel, all that,
All that
right?
jazz.
That's the deal. And so that's still cracking, but we had to move it back a little bit because we were the show was originally booked for what would now be the due date. So like,
yeah.
I was like,
Yep.
but you know, in a sense, like that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it gives us more time to set it up properly. I mean, you never know. God works in mysterious ways. So
Man, Paul, it's always nice talking to you. But you know, the one question I've always wanted to ask you that I've not
God.
asked yet. I'm gonna end it with that question. What's the story behind the name, man? Paollo13. What's like?
Paollo13.
Yeah.
All right. So when I was younger, I used to go by Apollo. Like when I was like much younger. Like when I was like 12, 13, like when I started rapping. I was like Apollo, I was trying to be cool. The Greek god of music, you know, Apollo. And you know, there's a lot of different musicians with Apollo as part of their name. Apollo Brown, for example. And then I was like, Apollo just doesn't have that ring to it. So I went with Apollo13.
Oh, like the thing.
Like the
Yep.
yeah, the space mission. And people say, well, why Apollo 13? I'd say, because they think I'm a crash, but I always come back.
Right.
All right? Which I still think is cool as shit. They always thought I'm a crash, but I make it back. And then I realized, like, this is terrible for marketing. If you put Apollo 13 in Google, like, you get Tom Hanks and space shit.
Right.
Right? So I was like, that ain't working. But I still love the essence of it. So really, I just switched the P and the A, and now it's Paollo13. And also, a lot of times when people were trying to say Apollo, they'd say Paulo. Right? So I was like, cool. I'm not Spanish. I'm Lebanese. But people, because everybody just calls me Paulo. So people get like mad. They think like I'm not giving them my real name. Like when they find out my real name is Chris, you know what I mean? They're like, I thought you were Paulo. I'm like, no, man, no. That's part of my stage name, Paollo13. But nobody calls me Paollo13 all the time because it's a mouthful. Just Paulo.
Man.
That's the story.
No, I've been dying to ask that. Okay, thanks for sharing that. Congrats on the baby. And maybe by the time this is out, the baby will be here. Man, that's insane.
I'll get to watch
Holy
it with her.
shit. Congrats, man. Thanks for coming to the podcast
Thanks,
today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so
Next
much.
time, there's going to be a crying baby in the background strapped to my chest. Yeah, no, it's super. Thanks again, man, for having me. It was always great talking with you.
No, it's always awesome talking to you.
Yeah. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year.